think we are. Hi.
What's up?
Welcome to Brushes and Brews Live. This is Nat.
Hi.
I'm Shanice. So this is the 10-minute preamble before things really start. So welcome to the smack talking and the technical difficulties.
I'll handle the smack talking. What do you handle the technical difficulties?
I like the sound of that. Okay. Operate. Posts.
Should we be seeing something right now?
Well, you should be seeing something.
Oh, what's up?
Oh,
hello.
Yeah. Yes. We're live. I don't remember looking at my watch.
I had that sip 5 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Sweet.
How do we know when we're live? This is exciting. 2 people are watching. I think I'm one of them.
Am I the other?
Maybe, I don't know. All right. Okay. Jade and Katie are here. Hi, Jade and Katie.
What up?
Hey.
Jade and Katie.
Jade. Jade. Nailed it. Should I go this way a little more?
Wait.
Is that better?
Give me 5 minutes. I'll tell you in 5 minutes. Alright.
Should I maybe put this so you can see it?
I can see it fine.
Hi, Mum. Facebook.
It's not working, is it?
Why are you working? Yeah.
I'm gonna try turning it off and on.
Hey, Sam's here. Hi, Sammy. Remember Sam from
Oh,
here?
Coffee Sam! What's up, Coffee Sam?
What's up, Coffee
Congratulations
Sam?
on the engagement and the JCU.
How did you guys go to JC?
Oh, I just saw something on Facebook.
It's very impressive.
Yeah. I'm all over socials.
Oh, excellent. So, we're drinking beer tonight,
Yes.
which is nice. Katie has wine. Great idea. White wine or red wine? Take a vote. I'd make a poll, but I'm not that technologically advanced. So we're not going to do that.
Let's have a guessing game about it.
Red, because red's better. Sam says thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, what happens if I pin a comment? What does that do? Anyone see any difference when I pin a comment? No idea.
Oh, Katie Jane.
Who
Right.
did you think it was?
Hey, Katie. Of course, I'm Katie. Go, Joe.
Oh, the internet calls you Katie. So that's how it happens.
Right. I was like, I don't know what kind of wine Katie drinks. I don't know Katie. I'm gonna say.
Katie?
I'm gonna say red.
Red?
Yeah.
I'm
red.
gonna say white. Katie
Oh,
seems like a white
please.
girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say white.
Oh man. Let's try and not be racist tonight, everyone. God.
I might leave. No, I'm not.
what?
I'm
You
not
can't
racist
leave.
at all.
We need you. I'm gonna stick this here for free advertising. See that? You should buy it.
What is it worth?
$80. Thanks for asking. Or you can buy a print for $35. That felt gross. Ew.
I'm practicing because I have 0 art skills and I feel like I should practice before class.
Yeah, no, do that. That's going to be in the proper intro. I'll tell everyone that you're a noob.
Great.
You're welcome.
Do I feel good or bad about that?
You should feel good.
What kind of wine
Why
is
is
it?
this so delayed?
Pink, sparkling.
How much delay? Oh.
So we're both right.
And KJ has cheese, so
What
pink.
does it say? Cheese?
Nice.
Alongside cheese.
Nice.
Not a short side
Pink
cheese.
and cheese. So KJ's drinking pink sparkling. Amazing. Oh, thanks, Laura. So when you pin a comment, it gets pinned down the bottom of the thread. Hi, Laura
Ooh.
and Toby. You don't know
It's
Laura and Toby.
getting
but they're
worse.
good. That was terrible. You guys can't see this because it's really light, but it'll be fine. Shout out to Tom and Bryony, also just joining us.
Tom upstairs.
Oh, the pin comment doesn't go away. I'm going to unpin that same.
Is this your Tom? Upstairs?
Tom upstairs.
Is it?
Yeah. So Tom is with us virtually, although he could be here physically, but he's busy gaming or something. Excellent. So that was me telling my mom, who's soon to join, that to find this video, you just go to the Brushes and Brews page, but you would have already found it because you're here. Listen to this. Hey, you nailed that one.
Thank you.
It kind of looks like a tribal mask, though. Sorry.
Look, honest feedback is very important if I'm going to improve my skills.
That's what I'm all about.
What if I did a little one on this side?
Ooh, okay.
A confused tribal mask?
Excellent.
Look, things can only get better from where I'm sitting.
They can, and I'm kind of excited about that. I just had my phone buzz. That's frightening.
Well, that, actually, I think I've nailed it. I'm gonna go now. I'm done.
Don't leave. I need you here. Emotional support. And because you're such a noob, you make me feel better about myself. It's why, like, when people come to Brushes and Brews and they have super skills, I feel really self-conscious.
This
is like, maybe you're better than me.
My goal in life is to make you feel better about yourself.
You're doing a great job right now. Actually, that one's really nice.
Is it?
I think we should show people.
Oh, yes.
Nat's been practicing her leaves. Because she's feeling a little bit self-conscious about it. Wait, how's the... You need to direct me on... Oh, what's up? I can see.
I can't.
Hey. So, wait. This is the Nat leaf that she just drew. Isn't it great? Nat went from saying, I can't draw a circle. No one can draw a perfect circle, by the way.
I feel better about myself now again.
To being able to draw a thing. What are we at? 6 minutes.
Live.
Alright, well.
From the studio.
We're here in the studio. Nat's taking questions. All kinds of questions.
Am I?
Yep.
Please don't make them art related because I cannot help.
Please make them
Oh, there we go.
life related.
Hey.
So there is a bit of a lag, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
It'll be fun. I have had way too much of this beer already. It's gone. Would you like another beer?
Would that make my art better? Or
Yes.
Beer. It's a hot night. It's a hot night.
It is a hot night, and we didn't bring any water.
I did.
Of course you did. Did you bring 4 litres?
Fun fact about me, I don't leave home without at least 1 litre of water.
Which was really handy. About 2 weeks ago, Nat and I went on a hike, and she brought 4 litres of water for the 2 of us.
No, that was just for me and Sam. So
That's right. It wasn't even
you
for
were
me.
in charge of your own hydration.
And then we got stranded out there for like 3 hours. So here's to being prepared.
So in 5 minutes, my son's bedtime alarm is going to go off. Hopefully, he's already asleep.
Oh, it's amazing. Hey, we've had some more people join. Hi to Danielle Poya, my mum. What's
Poya!
happening? And Dave Roby. I'm guessing that's Dave and Ree. Nice to see you guys.
Hey!
And Carl. Hey, Carl. Carl was featured in a video wearing a tutu today, and he probably didn't want me to tell all the world that, but I did. So, what a guy. Mum says, nice to see you, Nat.
Oh, it's nice to... I can't see you. I realised that was going to sound bad. It's nice to not see you.
So glad to not be looking at you. Why, you're mean.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I feel like I need to transpose that now before it gets...
No, we're not using this.
Oh, what?
You're using a big one for that. Just in case you were getting worried, the camera will not be at this angle the whole night, because that would be stupid, because you can barely see stuff. So you're going to go up top, which is why neither Nat or I are wearing low-cut tops tonight. You're welcome, Internet.
I had to go through my whole wardrobe.
Did you really? I'm wearing a turtleneck, man. Protected.
I was going to wear a skivvy and a beret, and then I realised I do not own a skivvy or a beret.
I really wish that you did.
I kind of wish I did
You
too.
would have sweated like a mofo, though.
That's why I'm not wearing jeans.
Ah, don't wear jeans. Hey, so I've got a... What's up, Angie? And Lily and Emma. Nice to see you guys. I've just seen that they're 12 and 10, so now we have to watch our language because we're such swear bears.
Angie Hicks. I wonder if it's a rally.
I don't know, is it?
No,
I
I
don't know.
don't think so.
So that's... Oh, Tiff! Hi, Tiff! Nice to not see you. I've got to stop saying that.
Sounds really mean.
It does sound really mean. It is Ree and Dave. That's sweet. And then I have Noni Grace, aka Nanizzle, aka my sister. She received a sweet creative care package in the mail today, and I
Did you
filled
get it
it
already?
with confetti. Yeah, express post, man.
In one day?
Yeah, overnight.
Oh,
It
jeez.
was great. There was a butt ton of confetti in it, and it went all over our house.
So it was a mean care package?
Everything else in it was nice, just the confetti was kind of a mean move. I was going to say something else move, but children.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what to do now. Hey Nat, tell a joke. Hey, okay, I'll tell far my favourite joke in the whole world. And normally when I tell it, no one laughs. So this is great. I can't see you not laughing at me.
Cue applause.
It goes like this. 2 baby seals walk into a club.
Is that it?
Yep.
Oh, that is bad.
Did you get it? Club? Like they used to...
Club seals.
Club seals?
Oh, that is worse.
You're welcome.
I don't even have a favourite joke.
Oh, that's great. Hey, we've got Holly who has joined, and I'm pretty sure Holly is here with Bonita. I just like saying your name like that, don't be offended. Shout out to Holly and Bonita. They sent me a video earlier on of
No
their
language
setup.
restrictions required.
What? Thanks, Angie. Oh, Carl likes the joke. Yeah, so Holly, you watched the video. Holly and Bonita sent me this video of their table.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Can I come to your place next time, please?
Doesn't want to be here with me because all we have is beer. There's no cheese. These guys had like cheese and crackers and heaps of wine and then maybe some more cheese and like 14 of these pallets. They're like proper setup. It's very impressive. So someone just called me an idiot for my joke I told.
I'm really trying to think of a good joke now, but I've got nothing.
Sorry, too much pressure.
Yeah.
Well, we have 40 seconds left until we're officially going to start. So...
Then do we sing the theme song to Brush?
Oh my gosh, yes! Are we going to make it up on the spot? We can practice now. We've got 25 seconds.
Have we pre-prepared one?
Can you lay down a beat? I can
No.
lay down a beat and you can rap over it.
Oh. No pressure, hey,
You
no
have
pressure.
15 seconds to agree that. My beat laying down is not great, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we have jokes coming in now. That's amazing.
What's the joke?
You can see them, but I'm gonna say it out loud and pretend like it's mine. Wait, you can pretend it's yours. Can you read that from there?
Have you heard about the restaurant on the moon?
No, I haven't. Tell me about it.
Great food, but no atmosphere.
Dave, that was bad. Mine was bad, that was worse.
Oh dear.
We're 14 seconds over, ready?
Brushes and brews, brushes and brews, don't get down by the corona flus.
Yes! That was really
Nailed
good.
it! We would high five, but 1.5 metres.
Oh yeah, I'll show you later our 1.5 meter ruler. Okay, well welcome to Brushes and Brews. Don't get down by the corona flus. That's the tagline. Also, this is known as Brushes and Flus. Cheers. Welcome. My beer is almost gone. Well, to everyone joining, hey, Alana Keys just joined. Nice to see you.
Who's who?
Well, welcome to this. We're going to quickly go through materials. And Nat is our resident noob. Noob with an N-O-O-B, not an N-U-D-E, just in case the audio is bad, because she is fully clothed. Speaking of fully clothed, I'm going with the full work from home this evening, the business up top, party downstairs, so you can't actually tell because the desk is there. You're welcome. So on the materials list, the basic materials list, you had paint.
Do you want me to?
Is that too far? No, it's okay. We don't need to yet.
Alright.
Do you have any questions about the paint, Nat?
How do I know what colours it is?
That's a great question. That's actually a really good question. So you should also have scrap paper. Can be any kind of paper that you like, or paper that you were practicing on earlier, whatever. This is helpful to know your colours. So if you're like, hey, what's this colour? It looks like black. It's not black, it's actually blue. You don't know that, I do. Test it out on your piece of paper. You'll be fine. But a little bit of like a spoiler is the first piece we're doing tonight is called a moon. Looks like this. Thanks Ronnie Garrett Benson for the inspiration. That's a bit of a plug. And this like first piece will be to help you figure out what colours you like, what colours you hate, as well as using your scrap paper. So, great question. These are watercolour paints. If you're using paint pens, all you need is a little bit of water on your brush and then to zhuzh it in there, and that's how you get your colour. If you find that your colours are too strong and vibrant, get yourself a palette. So a palette can be anything from a fancy looking thing to the lid of your thing, or an old piece of plastic, or a yogurt lid, whatever works for you. Add extra water to your paints and that will water them down.
Wonderful.
So that is paints. You will also have, I said, at least one pointy brush around the size of your little finger. Hopefully your little finger is really small. If it's not, it's Use any kind of brushes you want tonight, but it would be helpful if you had one with a pointy end. If not, you're going to have a chubby leaf, but that's okay. So these are our main tools for this evening, one bigger, one smaller. The next thing, you've all seen one of these before, this is a HB pencil or a lead pencil. You want to use something around a HB because it doesn't mark your page too heavy. When you're using this tonight, don't get in there like a preschooler because you can dent your paper. You go too deep, this is for that, and then you end up with like pencil marks on your page at the end that you can't rub off. If you go too deep too fast, try and rub it out before you put paint on there. That should help. Normally I go, hey, I'll just give you a new piece of paper, but I can't do that, so you can suck it up and sort yourself out if that happens. Masking tape. This is to stick your paper to the table. We do that when we're working with lots of water, otherwise the paper kind of crinkles, and or if you've got a fan on like we do, it can move. The big trick, and you need to remember this before you use masking tape, is kind of just like pat it on your clothes a little bit to get rid of some of the sticky, otherwise it can tear your paper when you go to take it off, and ain't nobody got time for that. That's masking tape. You can use any kind. What else did I tell you to bring? Those are the essentials. Water. The end. It's helpful, like as Nat has, to have 2 jars of water. One that you can wash your brush off in when there's heaps of paint on it, and the other one that you can kind of wash secondarily to clean your brush to make it pristine. But that's just a little life hack if you want to. Lastly, we'll go through the non-essential materials. I can't remember what they were, but here's one of them. This is salt. This should be on the essential list, I think. This is salt. Salt adds cool effects. You will see those cool effects this evening, but
not in my artwork.
No, you will. For a close-up of cool effects made with salt, I will show you. Oh, something I created earlier this week. All right, let's see if you can see this. Hey, okay, see this cool-looking thing here. That is what happens when you put salt on wet paint. It kind of absorbs the colour and makes it look cool. So you can use that, you can not. Hey, there it is, you can see it now. So cousin Zach is having technical issues. So while I reposition the camera into ultimate space, I'm going to try and I don't know how to message cousin Zach.
Has cousin Zach tried turning it off and on again?
Cousin Zach can play that. Hey, family, so sister or mum who are out there on the internet, can you please message cousin Zach? Tell him to log on to Brushes and Brews on Facebook. And then maybe he can sort his life out, because
lucky we didn't wear low-cut tops.
Yeah, right? Oh yeah, I warned you. Sorry, should I have warned everyone else that we were moving? Maybe you're all seasick now.
No, but I am.
Nat is seasick.
A little to the left, a little to the right.
Okay, hang on.
Whoa.
Oh, come on.
What are you aiming for?
I'm aiming for both of our pages. I don't want to be in my pants. Nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Hang on. No. Hang on. This is good feedback.
That you can see both of our pages.
But it's still doing the thing that I don't want it to. What about... Oh.
Now I can see your fingers.
Don't look at my fingers. Hey. How about that?
It's flopping around.
It's flopping around. Well, maybe because I've... Wait, there's a lag, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so I think we have your page and my page.
Yes.
And you guys don't
I
need to
forgot
see
you
that.
could see it up there, eh?
Yes.
Right.
Maybe we can come...
I'm totally redundant in this
a little bit.
aspect.
Oh, my laptop is boring. Whatever.
Do you know how many times I've refrained from saying those sorts of things from
You should never refrain from doing that for professionalism. Let's move this way a little bit.
Is it still 1.5 meters apart?
As you can see down here, we have a 1.5 meter coronavirus space restriction. You're welcome.
Oh, long message.
Mandy Rugi just joined. What's up, Mandy?
Mandy,
Nice
how is it in Brisbane?
Mandy's in Brisbane. I'd love to say that we're interstate, but Brisbane is
interstate.
Interstate.
Interstate or Queensland.
Okay, we're not going to mess around anymore. Let's do this. I start off all of my classes. Hey, cousin Zach is here, and he says start again. No. You're late.
Tell your joke again, Shanice.
I'll tell my joke again. 2 baby seals walk into a club. You're welcome. Okay, so...
And the rest of everyone left.
Everyone is gone.
Right, let's do this.
Oh, actually, with Cousin Zach is Aaron and Raj and potentially Liam.
Hello, potentially Liam.
Too. Should I do a little bit more of this? Just so we can get like a tiny bit of our faces. Would that be nice? With the lag, that's not fun. I'm going to pretend that there isn't a lag and that is A-okay. Alright, so the way I start all my classes is I get you to... Is that any better? Whatever. I get you to look for something round, like some masking tape, or your jar of water, or your glass of beer, whatever works for you. Put it in the middle or anywhere the hell you want on your page, and draw a circle around it very lightly with your pencil. Can you pass me the compass, please?
Compass. Protractor? No,
Yes.
compass.
Oh, is it a compass or a protractor?
Is it a protractor? Is a compass the thing that tells you where north and west is?
I think they're both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Anyway, I'm going to use a compass so that mine is nice and large so you guys can see it from where you are. Actually, no, you could probably see
Is
the
it
same.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's take a vote. Is this a...
I think it's a protractor.
A protractor. I liked it. I got a hello from potentially Liam. That means Liam is here. Hi, Liam. So we've got our page out. Now, watercolor paper. I should talk about this. Generally, it has two sides. One side that is rougher. One side that is a little bit smoother. You want to be working on the rough side of your watercolor paper. That way it absorbs rather than just like sitting on top. But it doesn't absorb too much like crappy paper does.
This is really hard. Done.
Nailed it. Nat draws a circle. You probably can't see my circle because it's really far away.
That's a win for Nat.
That's good. So pretend there's a circle here even though you can't really see it. Hey, Nat's a thinker. If this angle sucks and you would like to be closer, that's fine. Ha! It's a compass.
Is it?
General consensus.
Who said that?
The math teacher.
Did
the
you
chaplain.
Google it?
Two math teachers.
What's a
voted the
protractor
compass.
then?
Put that to the audience. What's a protractor, everyone?
Right.
Okay, we're going to move right along. So, the main technique that we'll be using tonight is called a wet in wet technique. So, once you have your circle on your page, make sure your brush is clean and has no paint on it.
Which brush should I be using?
Use this one.
Where do I want to be it?
Well, otherwise you'll dip your brush in it. Beware, you may dip your brush in your alcoholic beverage or your fruit juice if you're a child.
Or an adult who doesn't drink beer.
That's a real thing.
There's a fly in my water.
Of
Does that matter?
Is there a fly in your water?
There's something in my water.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Right. So, you're wetting your brush and with clean water you're painting it onto your circle. Don't be precious about this. Just slap it on there.
What about the edge?
Get nice up to the edges and smooth, but don't be too precious because this is just a practice. Great question from Dave Roby. This is just a trial so you can figure out what your colours do, and I can teach you a few techniques for the final piece tonight, which if you didn't know that, this is what we are working towards this evening, is the lovely leaf. This is the kind of thing that we're starting with, but we're probably going to be using more greens and blues and browns to figure out what our leaf is going to end up looking like.
Can you over wet your circle?
Yes, if your circle is way wet, it will start to sort of bubble with the water. If that happens, grab a tissue, some paper towel, your child's t-shirt, whatever you want. Do that. So I've just got some feedback. Amazing. Previous angle was better. So I'm going to take that feedback and I'm going to attempt to get a little closer as well because I feel like that might make all our lives a little easier. So thanks for being here for the first Brushes and Brews live event. I feel like there will be a lot of creases that we need to iron out, but there's always going to be creases, right friends?
And if you mean, you just wear the shirt anyway.
Ironing is for idiots. Steph Dick just joined us. Welcome, Steph Dick. I love you lots. Nice to not see you. Do you know Steph?
Steph Dick?
Yes! That's going to make her feel really good about herself. Okay, so we have wet the circle. Now you're going to try and choose colours that you might want to be working with this evening. So I would recommend greens, blues, yellows, browns, unless you want to do a crazy psychedelic leaf, then go for it. So
Am
our
I ready
circle
for that?
is, I don't know. Our circle is wet but not too wet, and we're choosing a colour.
With our big brush still?
With your big brush, yes. So your big brush that is kind of fat down the bottom and thin at the end. And a protractor is a circle or a half circle with angles on it. Thanks, Carl.
Oh, okay, yep. Thank you. I get,
Yeah.
yep. I've got one of those at home.
Excellent.
That's not green, that's blue. But I'm
Oh
committed
wow,
here.
heaps of people actually said the thing about the protractor. Let's not get distracted. So, paint is on brush and you're just going to start putting it into your circle. And here you just want to play. Watch what the paint does. You'll see that with the water on your page, the paint kind of starts to spread out and seep into the water. Embrace that. Play with it.
There's one of these for cleaning and one for freshing.
Sure.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
I would.
green, but it's blue.
But see, there you go. That's why we do this.
That one looks more green.
So while your colour is still wet, you want to get a second colour and work on a kind of type of blend like Nat has done so perfectly without even talking about it. Nailed it, Nat.
Thank
So
you.
this is where you're getting your second colour and you're just putting it right up next to your first colour and kind of using the water on your page already to push that into the other colour and let them mush together. Yes, that's a technical term. You're welcome. So the goal of this is to keep using this wet in wet technique until your circle has all the colour filled in and you figured out what kind of colours you like.
Oh, that's green.
Surprisingly.
The other one was blue.
Yes. If you want to use these colours, you're welcome
Are
to
they
as
green?
well. There are 6 greens here.
Wow.
Yes. So I've decided to use these paints tonight because I feel like that's what most people have because these are quite easily accessible.
And I've decided to use them because they're closest.
Hashtag laziness.
And she
Oh,
needs
dear.
That's the same green I just had.
Hey, Lauren Schneider has just joined us. I hope that you guys are all okay with me telling the world that you're here. What's up, Lauren? Thanks for joining us. So we're just filling in this circle. Oh yeah, that noise was Arlo. Hey, buddy. Do
That's
you want to
also
come say
blue.
hi? Arlo, what's this? What's this? Bring your face here so the world can see you. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come
Oh,
here.
they're all
Bring me
blue.
your face. What's this? Oh,
That's
no.
purple.
Arlo doesn't want to say hi to everyone. Hey, so Nat's just said, oh, that's blue, that's purple. Blues and yellows are friends of green. So if you shove a blue in next to your green, you notice that they blend quite nicely, but also are really good for using to create shadows.
Is that green?
You'll find out.
Oh! It's never been near it.
So if you do this and you hate it, you can get paper towel in there and try and remove some of the
Can
colour.
I just blend it?
Yes, or you can just blend it. The ball is totally
Woo.
good. But experiment with the colours that you have so you know what you're looking for.
Is there a tip to remember which ones were green?
No.
Ooh.
If anyone else out there can think of a tip, maybe turn them towards you. Is that helpful?
Why not?
I don't know. So experiment with your greens and your blues, and I would also recommend, geez, Nat, you're so ahead of
It's
it.
autumn.
Yeah, getting those yellows in there, because yellows respond quite nicely with greens as well, and as we know, because we all went to preschool, hopefully, yellow and blue makes green. So if you mix them, you might get extra colours you didn't know existed. And then the last colour experimentation could be a tiny bit of brown if you want your leaf to have more of like a naturally autumn hue. I was going to say dying, but I think autumn is a lot nicer. Oh lordy. So fill in that circle
People
all nice and
the chat's
good.
going
people are
off.
talking. Yeah.
off the hook.
Lol, Laura. I mean not Laura. Lauren didn't purchase paints. Good job, Lauren. Nailed it.
Are you just watching for leisure?
I guess. I mean, what else are you going to do? You're isolated, right? That's a shame. So Nat, you just got a compliment on your questions. Good job.
From who?
From Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
See, this is why I
You
have
know I ask
Nat
a lot of
here.
questions.
And they're good questions too. Okay, a couple more things that I want to talk about real quick is while your paint is still wet, and I'm going to stand up and wait for this one.
Oh, you're done.
Oh yeah, I move quick. Is wash your brush off and get some clean water on your brush and then just poke, I hope this is right in the vision, poke on your page and watch the water push the paint away and kind of expand in like a fireworky type pattern. So I'll do that again here so you can see it. just a little poke. This is just a cool effect that you can use. I hope the lighting's okay for you. It's not as strong when you first do it, but after it dries, it makes some really interesting patterns. So that's one option for your leaf. Another option is to do the opposite, is to get a completely different color to what you have on your page, and then do the poke with that color and watch it expand. So play with this, think about what you might want to do for your final piece this evening. Now, questions?
Probably more statements.
Yeah, let's hear them.
I'm happy with what I've produced right now, but I don't know if I've thought enough about the leaf while I was painting it and more just enjoying what I was doing.
Are you saying you went off task because you were having so much fun?
I'm saying exactly that.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
If there's blue in my leaf, there's blue in my leaf.
There's blue in your leaf. Well, I think there are a lot more blues in nature than we know.
I can do, what did you say, dots, and they expand.
Yeah. Hey, look at that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's really fun to play with. So if you got totally distracted and don't know what you're going to do for your leaf, who cares? It's Friday night. We're all just here to have a good time. It's Friday.
Fun fact, Rebecca Black is bringing out new music.
Stop it!
And she doesn't regret Friday because, she was a 13. I actually feel sorry for Rebecca Black. She was 13.
Crap.
People tore shreds off her for Friday, and her parents, who are divorced, put in to pay for her to do that. And yeah, I feel sorry for Rebecca Black, but she has new music. It's not my favourite.
Did Rebecca Black sponsor you to be here tonight?
Let's just say she hasn't improved much from Friday.
Ouch! This is going out into the
Sorry,
internet.
Rebecca.
Yeah, and Rebecca's going to watch my video.
She looks great though. She looks great.
Take that, Rebecca.
And
you
she's
look great.
positive and loving life, so.
Wow.
Friday was not a mistake.
Moving right along. Here I have some salt. I'm going to sprinkle it on parts of my moon that are not super soggy with water, but also not completely dry. And as you can see, they're starting to soak up the paint. Now, leave it on there until your moon is completely dry, and then when you brush it off at the end, you'll have a cool effect. Watercolor is all about patience, amigos.
This is why I'm no good at it. Should I put salt on mine? What do you recommend?
Do you want that?
What does it do? Make it...
So the salt absorbs the colour, leaving lighter bits of your page where the salt was.
Would you recommend that for this artwork?
You could put, I think, some like around here, or even like a streak somewhere.
Oh yeah,
would be fun.
Streak that.
Create like a muggly effect.
Thank you, Zach, for your agreement.
Excellent.
I'm assuming it's about Rebecca Black. Sorry for going off topic.
Whoa, so off topic.
Back to the art.
So, I don't know if Zach is agreeing to Where is the Cheese, to Rebecca Black's Music Stinks, or to Steph's question of how do we know if it's too wet. You know if it's too wet, that's the only real question.
I asked that question earlier.
What did I say?
You said it's too wet if your paper gets crimply and foldily, and you can dab with some paper towel.
Yes! Nat remembers things, everyone. I wish you could see our faces right now. My face was like impressed, surprised. That was nice. Okay, so we are going to move on to our final piece tonight, which, don't freak out everyone, does involve a tiny amount of drawing. So get your moon and shove it somewhere else where the sun don't shine.
Because it's a moon.
Well, but the moon does shine on the sun sometimes.
Oh. Yes, science!
So, can you grab a piece of paper?
Yes. Would you like
Excellent. Yes.
Are we having one each?
Yes. So you're just going to paint on the table.
Challenge accepted.
Oh, can I have that hook, actually?
Yes.
That's probably going to be handy. So, we are going to be drawing our leaves from scratch. Stencils are possible. If you happen to have a leaf stencil and you hate drawing, please use that.
If you had a big leaf from your garden, could you draw around that?
You definitely could. I think that
Right.
would be way more difficult than what we're doing. But if you want to get creative, you can do that. So, the basic 101 of this leaf, I'm going to draw it. Can you pass me a black texture? Or should I use black pen?
Is this a black texture?
Yeah, it's a black texture. I hope it works. I'm going to draw it in black texture so you can see it. We can all draw some sort of a love heart. So we're going to just start by drawing a heart on our page in kind of like an angle from one corner to the other. If your heart is wonky and looks more like bigger on one side and smaller on the other, that was a really good heart. Ignore that. If your heart looks more like this, amazing. because it's going to end up like a leaf. Leaves are not perfect. So the more imperfect, the more closer to nature. So you're aiming for a heart shape. So Nat's going to be following along at home.
With a pencil?
With a pencil.
Which kind of pencil? A light one or a heavy one?
You're using a light pencil and you're using it very light-handedly because you don't want to dig into your paper too much. If you dig in, whatever, we can just cover it with paint later, but it'll make your life easier if you don't. So we're doing a heart shape in a diagonal sort of direction. If on your page you want to do a few smaller leaves, like so, feel free to do that and follow your dreams. As I always say in all my classes, I'm just giving you tools, you can use them however you want to.
Does it matter if my heart isn't super hardy?
No. So yeah, if your heart doesn't come in a lot here, totally doesn't matter, because leaves do whatever they want. Now we're going to start up here and draw like a semi-curvy, U-y, mountainy shape from this cruciveter heart down to the point. So the key is you don't want it to be super straight, because then your leaf kind of looks like a heart shot by a cupid. Yeah.
Is it too straight?
No, I think it's good. So you almost want to think about like the curve of maybe the way the leaf is going. You can imagine a leaf looking like that. I think it's good that way. So yeah, semi-curvy shape. If you want to put more of like a S-y curve in it, that's also okay. And then the way to get these little broken bits is to just put V shapes every so often and at different sizes along your leaf. Now the key to getting this to look natural is don't go with a bunch of super identical V shapes. You want to make some longer, some shorter, maybe put two close to each other and then leave a gap and just put a little one. So put 4 or 5 along the edge of your leaf, and then maybe on the other side do a couple less or a couple more, just so it's not too perfect or even. So that's our V shapes. Yes, we got this. It's so good having you here now, because I probably would move too fast sometimes. But having a live noob in the studio.
Noob, not noob.
Fully clothed.
Yeah, it's still on. I'm trying not to overthink it.
Yeah, key to watercolor painting is don't overthink it. We're suggesting a leaf, we're not drawing a literal leaf. When you try to get too literal, stuff doesn't work. So you've got all your V shapes. Now the next part is drawing in these. I've decided to call them either A, round rectangles, or B, slugs. Take a vote on the thing if you want to.
Ooh, slugs.
So we have a great comment. I don't know if you guys you can see each other's comments, right? I hope so. Anyway, great comment from Danielle. If it's curved, it looks more 3D. Correct. If it's straight, you end up with this weird non-round object. If it's curved, you get a little bit more three-dimensional shape in there. We haven't taped it down because we haven't got to the tapey down bit. Wow, this is really great. I like this. I had a little, please slow down. Voting for slugs. Yep.
Can I like erase a slug and redraw it?
Yes. If you
don't
hate
like
your
the
slugs,
position of my slugs.
get rid of them.
Right.
So, here's an eraser.
Thank you.
Slugs, you don't want to do too many of those, otherwise you kind of make your leaf look like it has chicken pox or slug pox.
Slots.
Sounds like a racial slur.
Only against slugs.
Slugged. Whoa, someone just said the. Oh, no, slugs, S-L-U-G-S, not S-L-U-T-S, everyone.
Oh, so many biting my tongue moments right now.
Well, no, we have no language restrictions from Angie, so it's fine. Anyway, so this is a great example of, you can't see it. So,
is my slug wrong?
Your slug is wrong.
Why?
This is why you're here now. This is amazing. So Nat has drawn like some really nice slugs on her piece, and then she's drawn a slug kind of this way. So you want your slugs to follow the general direction of like outside of edge, leaf of edge to inside. I know I didn't articulate that well, but
that was my favourite slug too. This one.
Redo that slug. Yeah. So you want your slugs kind of not in this like sidewaysy, but to follow this natural curve of the outside to the inside of the leaf, almost as though it had these. So don't add these in. These are just directional markers for which way to do your little slugs.
Is that better?
Yes. Yeah. But then maybe, okay. This is great news. We're learning things. So Nat's got a V shape that's going like this, and then a slug that's kind of crossing in front of the V shape.
I'd say so.
You want all of your shapes to be kind of flowing in a natural direction. So if the V shape is like this, you want the slug to sort of follow this downward direction rather than one going this way and one going that way. That'll give your leaf more of a natural effect. Is that helpful?
That is helpful.
Okay, cool. So feel free to do like slugs that are big and long or slugs that are small and thin in amongst your V shapes.
Like that?
Yes! Yes! Okay, I'm going to show everyone that.
Third time lucky,
That's a really good
jeez.
one. She nailed the slug. Nailed it! And now you have to do slugs on the outside.
Does it matter if my V's are coming to a... Like, see though, does it matter if I've got V's that are like coming to a V? Coming together?
I think that's okay. So, you guys can't see Nat's, but her question was like, so like this V and this V are kind of pointing together, but because the natural flow of this leaf would go like that, this sort of makes sense.
Okay.
But if over here, if you've got two V's going like this, don't do that.
No, I'll put some slugs there.
Yeah, chuck some slugs. Put a slug on it. So Mike has asked, is this okay, in brackets, pause. I don't know what that means. But hi, Mick, Mike, Miguel. Hey guys, we're currently international. Miguel has joined us from Portugal. Brooke, yeah.
Hola? Is that right? Hola? No.
I don't speak Portuguese.
It's Spanish, isn't it? No.
Whoa.
Hola.
I'm sorry, Mick.
I don't know language. I don't know language. I'm sorry. What's hola?
Hola is Spanish.
Ah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the same spelling, but
It's universal.
more Portuguese.
Universal formula.
Yeah.
Hello, Mick.
Hello. Wow, he's gonna leave now because you offended him in his culture. That's not true. He's super chill.
I'm not trying to
Look,
offend.
laughy face. He laughy face. Anyway, welcome, Miguel. Thanks for waking up at stupid o'clock to be here. That's friendship right there.
Slugs need to be on bad angle.
So I'm gonna leave the slug page. Oh, should I? Which is more helpful? I'll leave this one out because this tells you what to do and not to do. One last thing. In the creation of your slug fest. That's gross.
It does look like a tribal mask.
It's okay. It won't look so much like a tribal mask once we get colour on there.
Right. What if I do black red?
Unless you do black and red. So the last thing to do with your slug. Hey, Jade just sent me an image of her leaf and it's freaking amazing. Well done, Jade.
Way to rub it in, Jade.
Way to encourage people, Nat.
That's good, Jade. That's really nicely.
It's actually really good. So Jade is
a pro.
Jade hates drawing and she nailed that. So
oh, good, Jade. Well done.
Congratulations. And Ola is correct. Uh-oh, we just high-fived. Ah!
Sandy. Sandy is Australian slang for hand sanitizer.
Welcome to art and slang lessons with Nat and Shanice. Okay, so I was saying a million years ago,
right.
What we do with our eraser is see these little bits, we actually want to rub them out. Mine don't rub out because it's made of texture.
What?
But Nat's will.
It's not erasable?
No. So you want
really
to rub out. So Jade doesn't think hers is good, but that's because Jade doesn't believe in herself.
Jade, you need to have self-belief because it's amazing.
Yeah, yours actually looks friggin' awesome. So now I'm going to just quickly go right ahead and do mine.
Which you'll be finished by the time I've rubbed out my
maybe
bits.
I'm going to take a leaf, pun intended, out of Jade's book and add a little wiggle on the side of mine because Jade did that and it looked really good like this.
Oh,
can you see that from there? Perhaps not. That's fine. So I'm going to quickly draw my leaf and chuck in some slugs, not S-L-U-T-S.
Good. Good. Slug. Good.
Slug. It's because we're Australian, we don't pronounce our words good and stuff.
Oh, it's looking more leaf-like.
See, it's proper leaf-like. I think the key to really discovering its leafiness is when you erase these outside edges. So, hey, are you done?
Am I done?
Yes, you are. Can you hold it up to the camera, please, and show our friends playing at home? Yeah! Just felt silent. So that's Nat's leaf. She nailed it. I really do think that when you erase these little edge bits, it's when you properly get your leaf truly coming to life. Yeah, looks good.
Oh, that was quick. Well done.
So Zach has asked, where's Tom? Tom's upstairs playing video games.
Playing video games.
Whoa. Because that's the end. Right. So Carissa, I didn't even know Carissa was here. Hi Carissa. Yeah, Carissa's commented about the paintbrush going in your drink. Some people write on their water things like paint and then drink, but that doesn't work because when you're dipping your brush in your water, you're not thinking with your brain.
Oh, Carissa, do you have a kid at Tanham Kindy? Are you on the committee?
You could be best friends. We're going to find out very soon.
I eagerly anticipate that answer. The name looks familiar.
But in case you do accidentally do the dumb and dip your brush in your beverage, don't freak out. Generally, watercolour paints are not toxic unless you bought the toxic version. You can still drink your beverage. I have done it multiple times and I'm still here to tell the tale.
Don't drink paint water.
Yeah, this is not a good time. Also have done that. Please don't try it at home. We're going to get straight into painting. So we're going to be using the wet in wet technique for this. I'm going to quickly talk about colour choices for your leaf. How do I do this in a non-nerdy way?
Just do it in a nerdy way.
Just do it in a nerdy way. Okay. So art is all about light.
I'm sorry, I had to. Sorry, continue.
Okay. Art is all about light and where the light is coming from and what it's hitting first and all those sorts of things. So technically, if we're looking at this leaf, this bit in here, which is our stem bit, is generally like concave down more. So this is going to be a little bit darker. And then this is, you can't see that at all. So this is going to be a little bit darker. This bit of our leaf is sort of like puffing up here, so it's going to be a little bit lighter. And then our edges over here are going to be a little bit darker again. So when you're putting your colours in, think of your darker greens and blues if you're going traditional leaf colours in the middle on the outsides, and your lighter greens and yellows going in the middle. Or you can say, screw you, Shanice, you're an idiot, and do whatever the hell you want.
That's also paint a purple rainbow leaf.
Yeah, paint a purple rainbow leaf. I don't care. So we're going to just get amongst this. We'll be using the wet in wet technique. I'd recommend work on about a third to a quarter of your leaf at a time, just because the water often dries really quickly and you get stuck adding more and more water and it gets really frustrating. Great question from Steph. So the wet in wet technique is what we use to create our moons. So that was when we got clean water and put it straight onto the page, and then got the paint and added it to that wet page to create a sort of really flowy watercolor effect. So great question, guys. Thank you very much. Now I'm disappointed that you didn't ask that question. You're fired.
We discussed it earlier. I was holding my tongue when to say, Steph, if you're on time. Oh, but I didn't because I'm not.
That's right. Steph and Zach were both late, so that's why you know what the
should have come on time and you wouldn't know what the weather was.
So brutal.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. Don't be sorry.
I'm not an unkind person.
No, they were late. Steph was probably busy doing her virtual tap dance lesson, which is a real thing, and I hope it was amazing.
That's awesome. What happens with the lead pencil? Is that going to show through my art?
The lead pencil may show through your art. That's a great question. If you feel like you've put it on too dark, feel free to get your eraser and rub it out until you can just barely see it.
Can you erase it after you've done your final product?
Another great question from Nat, everyone.
That's what I'm here for.
Huh?
That's what I'm here for.
You can attempt to erase it after your colour's on. Sometimes it comes off, other times it doesn't. I don't know why. Your best bet is probably just to erase most of your really dark lines. And if they don't come off, I can show you at the end how to just get some darker colour paint and put them on those edges to disguise the lead pencil if you hate it.
Baking sourdough?
Whoa!
Did you say living my best life? That is amazing.
Yeah, apologies.
You've
Steph.
gone up a notch in my book. You're okay for being late now. So once I've wet my quarter of my leaf, I can start painting it?
Yeah, so once you've
with colour?
chucked your water in there, start getting some colour in. I would start with your lighter colours because it's easy to go from light to dark.
Which
rather
I
than dark to
totally
light.
remember which ones they were.
That's okay. So I've got yellows here, greens here.
Which is that light to dark?
I think this one's lighter and these ones are darker.
Smell the yellow.
So I'm going to start with some yellow. That's a really bright yellow. Great. Remembering, Shanice, sort of in the middle, and I'm painting around that little outer circle bit, and then adding to
I'm going to copy what you were doing.
both edges of that yellow. I'm going to put green in. Now, don't be precious about this. Like, see how I'm not, being really nice and kind with my brush. I'm kind of like mushing and jabbing. Get in there and mush and jab with your brush. Don't be precious. So start just popping your colours in, remembering the darker-y colours on the outside and the lighter ones on the inside. I haven't perfectly followed the lines in here, and that's okay. We can just go over it like I have here with some darker paint later to create a little bit more definition. Now I'm adding a darker colour along this very edge to give a little bit more shape. I didn't intend for it to be this dark, but because I forgot which colour was what, it's really dark now. But what I can do to get rid of that is just dab it with some paper towel. So if you have paper towel or tissues handy, they are very useful. So Jade, great question. She asked, do we start with a light or a dark colour? It's best for you to start with a lighter colour because you can always layer darker colours on top of your light. But if you start dark, it's really hard to lift out those colours and bring them to light again, if that makes sense. The most important place though, if you stuff up the whole light and dark colours everywhere, that's whatever. Most important place to have your darker colours is in this sort of centre line. Now I've gone really dark just so you can see that emphasis in there, but that helps to create the shape in your leaf, is having a dark colour in the middle. If you find you haven't gone dark enough, we'll talk about going over once your paint has dried and creating a little bit more depth, which is totally possible. So we have had a little request to slow a little. We can do that. You can chill out a little bit more.
Totes chill.
It totes chill. Hey,
Well, that's very dark.
Nice. That's good.
I'm actually really trying.
You were totally nailing it.
Thank you.
So Nat just did a beautiful thing over here where she had water on her page like this, and then she got quite a dark colour.
On purpose?
On purpose. Well, I'm sure it was on purpose. And then she ran it along the edge of that watery patch. So the very edge was really dark, but the water that was already on her page allowed the colour to seep out into the shape of her leaf rather than just sitting where it was. No.
If I have done that on one edge, do all the edges need to be that same green?
No, they don't. I would recommend those. So see how here this edge is like an olivey green and here it's a foresty green. I would recommend that on these jumps your colours sort of match up. Because if you think about it, the leaf was probably once joined before it broke open a little bit. And it just brings for a little bit more uniformity. So I'll bring this closer so you can see this technique of putting a dark line here and then spreading that little bit of colour back and back, and so it sort of waters itself out along the page. So you can see up here that it's quite dark, and down here you're lightening it up. That's done just by putting water on your page, like so, choosing your darker colour and placing it along that edge, and then washing your brush off mostly, just popping it along that edge and almost dragging that colour back so you've got a nice contrast between dark and light, bringing it across your leaf. So practice, play with that. If it doesn't work, doesn't matter, just get more colour and shove it in there. Hey, looking good.
Getting a little out of control.
It is great. Out of control is good.
I've forgotten which green was which green again.
That's fine.
Oh, that's what I was looking for.
Oh, the masking tape! I forgot to tape.
Oh, okay. Should we tape?
We're not going to tape, But if you're at home and your paper is buckling, you really should tape, especially if you're using large amounts of water on your page.
What about the arm movement though?
Yeah, arm movement is awkward. So if you're finding that your page is buckling a lot and you're struggling in your life, thank you for the reminder, Zach and Mum a lot earlier. Get your tape, put it on your clothes or on your table a bit to get rid of some of the sticky, and just tape down those edges to keep your page in place. With something like this, it's not super essential to be using your tape, but if you're a person who goes heavy on the water, use the tape because it'll help your page from buckling. But if you haven't, it's whatever. I completely forgot because I have the memory of a goldfish. So we are, just continuing. Yeah, along our leaf. Remember to be adding some different types of colours. So like I've got a bit of yellows and a bit of greens. If you do a nat and forget what colour's what, embrace it. A lot of great creative ideas come from the mistakes that we make and us trying to work with them. So embrace the mistakes like that. Just there, that colour was way too dark.
I think most of my problems doing this in the past is that I forget that I need to wet the section and then I just have all these really heavy rogue lines.
Yeah. So I'll show you actually, if you haven't wet your page and you're just slapping paint on there, you get either a really dark bit of colour or, I'll pick this up so you can see it closer, you get a kind of like scratchy paint colour. This is actually another technique called scumbling, but we're kind of avoiding it tonight because we want this sort of smooth shape rather than the roughness of this dry area. So make sure you're wetting your page. If this happens, it's totally fixable. So if you're like, crap, I forgot to wet my page, that's fine. Keep your paint where it is, shove a bunch more water over it and kind of mush it about until it spreads out a bit. And then just find a darker colour and cover it up. Pretend like it was never there and you'll be fine. So you can always fix your mistakes with watercolour or embrace the mistakes. Quote for your life, embrace the mistakes.
So I've just been scumbling this whole time.
Yeah. It sounds like a form of singing. Singing people of the world. Is that a form of singing? Hey, Tabitha joined us. Hello, Tab. Nice to have you with us. So we've now got people in Brisbane, in the Sunshine Coast, in Gladstone, in Gold Coast, and in Portugal.
Boyne
Thanks
Island.
for joining us. Oh yeah, Boyne Island. You can't teach as you need to lift your page to show the details right. I'm confused. Daniela Poya, can you please repeat your question statement? Anywho, Steph has told us that scumbling is not a form of singing.
Oh,
I think I'm getting confused with scatting.
Yeah,
nailed it!
I'm a scat man.
Hey, remember that time when we made up a rap on the spot for Brushes and Brews?
Yeah, I can't remember
That was
it now.
fun. It's had something to do with the corona flus.
Doesn't everything in this
Oh
country?
God, I don't want to talk about it.
No, I don't either.
That's
I actually
gross.
forgot about it. Thanks
Me
for bringing it back up.
too! You brought it up! Anyway, welcome to Forgetting About Corona because it's a bastard and it's ruining all our lives.
It's ruining our social lives.
Well, where is it making it better?
Well, yeah, actually, the problem is socialising wasn't
Yeah, right. So socialising at 1.5 metre distance.
with one person.
Oh, Sydney! Zach reminded me that we have Sydneyites. Hey, we're interstate! Interstate!
You've gone that. You've gone global.
Gone global. It's amazing. We're going to take over the world.
Sorry, was the leaf meant to be getting lighter or darker as we go down?
So your leaf wants to be darker in this centre bit, lighter in this middly bit, and darker on the edge again.
Thank you.
I haven't done a good example with this one. I apologise. That was a practice that happened a week ago. Yes. Right. Oh, okay. So the comment about from before from Danielle was about you can't lift up your page and turn it if it's taped. That's correct. So tape if you want, don't tape if you don't want.
That's why I didn't take because I'm teaching.
That's right. Oh, that's what. Okay, yep, I'm with you. Holly. Wait, no, that was Jade. Wait, no, who was it? Who was it? Someone said a funny. Holly did. It was good. Is it still there? Come on, come on. Yes! It's a pickup line. If Corona doesn't take you out.
I've seen that, yes.
Good!
Yeah, is that hand sanitizer in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me from 6 feet away? That's one of the other ones.
That's really good. Oh, Corona pickup lines. Who even has the time?
Everybody right now.
Everybody does.
Who doesn't have the time?
Wait, let's not. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah,
Screw it. Let's talk about art.
I'm going to say this was the art one.
So Jade asked a really great question. At the end, can I just go over the stem with a darker colour? Yes, you can. And yes, we will. And that is a great way, if you don't feel like thinking about all the light and the shadow and the blah, 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 that is a perfect way to make it happen. However, if you want a more realistic-ish looking leaf, creating the light and shadow like I have done here, but not here, that was a TT mistake, like I have done here is useful. But if you don't, also it doesn't matter. You're going to paint that stem on and create the depth in a more two-dimensional way anyway, so don't fret. And if you're with someone right now who's fretting, please slap them in the face, because art is about enjoyment and not freaking out. And if you're not with someone and you're fretting, slap yourself in the face, please. That would be great.
From a safe distance.
Whoa. So, okay, last Corona mention. Good job, Meg. Flirting prime time. What are you going to do? Come over?
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
Oh dear.
Yes, good. Hey, I would also love to know, I don't know if this is possible, in the comments on this video, can you post photos? If you can, I would absolutely love to see your setup, or maybe what your cheese is like in the platter department. I was a bit slack tonight and ate all the cheese before we started. I didn't even give any to Nat. I ate it before she.
Have I gone too far?
Hey, that's cool.
I haven't gone too far.
I don't think you've gone too far.
Not far enough.
Maybe stop. So Nat is a great person to have in the studio, because when she did a live brushes and brews class with me once, the thing that we all learned was quit while you're ahead.
Don't go too far, Nat.
Don't go too far. What happens when you go too far, Nat?
You try to paint a black tree on a wet piece of paper. Your teacher comes along and says, I'll just take that for now. Because ideas sometimes in your head, once something starts looking good, that's probably a good time to stop, rather than like, oh, it's looking good, I might just add some more detail. Oh no, I've gone too far.
Oh, words of wisdom they are, Nat. Words of wisdom. But it's true, the overworking your piece can not only make it look terrible, but
Exhibit A.
hang on, this is a good exhibit of it working. But can also, so watercolour paper is paper and will react like paper when you shove a bunch of water on it. It kind of mushes it up and makes the paper go all pulpy. So if you're continually getting into your page and working over it, you can kind of stuff it up.
Has anyone posted pictures? Yes!
Oh,
Jade, it's beautiful.
Oh, so you can't...
Is that Jade's picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
awesome.
really nice. I want to share that.
Can't you share it?
I don't know.
Can you not post it in the
Ooh.
comments?
No, I can't. So apparently we can't post photos in the comments, but I think after this evening, I'll put a post up on the Brushes and Brews Facebook page of like, hey, how did you go tonight? And I would love to see your pictures and also hear your feedback. I want to send out a little, what's the word? Survey. Thanks, Nat. Nat's an accountant. She knows stuff.
Former accountant. I have personality.
Once an accountant, always an accountant.
I have personality.
Yeah, so I want to know what works.
It's my joke.
What?
What does an accountant use for contraception? Their personality. Thank you, husband, for that kind line. Sorry, Noni. You're probably a lovely person.
Your husband taught you that one.
Yeah.
And you have 3 kids.
Obviously, I've got a great personality.
Great personality.
Ooh, yeah, mine is no.
Oh dear. So once you finish one side of your leaf, move right on to the second using the same array of colours that you did for the first side. Unless you want a psychedelic rainbow leaf, then you can follow your dreams.
Or you've forgotten which colours you used on the
That's
first
also
side.
a real thing. If you find that your middle line isn't matching up colour-wise, don't freak out, because as Jade suggested before, we can just go over it later, and we will go over it later with a darker line to give it just a little bit more definition.
Can we do dots on these too?
Yeah, you can, but don't overdo it. Something that I haven't talked about yet is salt. If you want to add a little bit of that texture to your page, get some salt on now while it's still a little bit wet, but in true Nat style, don't overdo it in the salt department, because it's an effective little way to make things work, but also it's very easy to overdo. So tiny amounts of salt on your page, and then leave them until they do fun things that you want them to. Hey, we just had Caitlin join. What's up, Caitlin?
Rofo.
Wow. Yeah, nice to see you.
What are we having?
Nice to see you.
Socially distant beers.
Socially distant beers. Well, tonight we're having socially distant beers. Actually,
See these people.
I know.
Should do it on Zoom so we can see people.
That's what I want to do. I think that's what's going to happen next time Brushes and Brews does the thing. Is we're going to go with Zoom. Please comment as to your preference or hatred of that idea. But I think Zoom could work really nicely, because then we can all talk smack to each other instead of Nat and I just feeling
awkward silences.
But they're not awkward if you're friends.
Sometimes that.
I wanted you to just leave it without talking for a moment.
Oh,
you
sorry.
ruined it.
Say that again.
No,
I'm
it's too late now. Okay, they're not awkward with friends.
Oh, dear.
Hey, so Jade sent through a picture of a leaf. Have we talked about this?
What?
Jade's leaf? Anyway, Jade sent through a picture of her process, and it's freaking beautiful. Jade, you're killing it.
Oh,
and
that's
I'm not
great.
just saying that. Yeah, it looks really good. I'm very proud. Dave Roby is keen for Zoom. Oh, and we have another accountant in the house. What's up, Angie Hicks?
I thought you were 10. What?
No, Angie Hicks is with a 10-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
10-year-olds can't legally have Facebook, Nat.
I know this.
Yeah, of course you do. Well, welcome to the house, Angie, accountant. Sure, you also, like Nat, have a personality.
Oh, she also has a child who's
Yeah.
10, allegedly.
And I think it's a second child, but I can't remember because memory of goldfish.
10 and 12.
Yeah, so Holly and Benita literally just said we should Zoom. I think Zoom is the way to go. And
It's the way of
apparently,
the future.
the way of the future. Apparently Zoom has kind of relaxed their 40-minute only session time.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So we'll find out about that. Or I'll just stop being a cheapskate and actually purchase it. Because we've had a really good response tonight. And yeah, just quickly, a huge thank you for you to be here. Everyone that's listening to the sound of mine and Nat's voices.
You're
being
welcome.
ridiculous. I really appreciate the fact that you theoretically came out tonight, even though you're in your houses in your pajamas drinking wine. That's great. And the support, like I totally appreciate any support that comes in financially, but also just the fact that you're here is amazing too. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a fun time. So yeah, everyone's up for Zoom. Mick has said a personality? I'm confused. Are you saying that Nat has multiple personality disorder, Mick? Shh! Was that just you talking to your other personality, telling you to be quiet?
You'll never know.
Just a little reminder that if you have a colour on your page and you want to experiment a little bit, so let's get a nice dark colour. Yeah! Dark colour on page. You can get a brush with clean water and then just do the little dot and watch it expand, and when it dries it looks super cool. So play with that as well if you like. Steph likes Facebook live stream. Could I do both?
I have no idea.
Zoom
Is there
and
any
live stream at the
IT
same
people
time?
out there arting this evening?
IT people, nerds, speak to me. Can I Zoom and live stream at the same time? Who knows? Hopefully someone does.
Dave, do you know?
Dave.
Not that you're a nerd, Dave.
Oh!
Not that you're a nerd.
You're throwing out all the insults tonight.
I'm not intentionally insulted. Look, I'm sorry if I've offended anyone this evening.
Now you just sound like a politician.
I am not out to offend, but stay home. And look at the box. I know, honestly, if I've offended anyone, I'm sorry.
Honestly, stop, you're fine. You are a...
No, Dave and I speak the same language.
Yeah.
It's all good.
What, mean?
Now it's being me.
Yeah, right? I go mail myself.
Yeah.
Lordy. Yeah, everyone wants Zoom. Ooh, So another alternative is, I think it's in brackets, so Mick doesn't want me to read this out loud, but I'm going to because I can.
Because he's in Portugal and he can't hurt you.
That's right. Come get me, Mick. Do it, I dare you. Jitsi.
What's
is
Jitsi?
kind of like Zoom, but apparently less restrictions. Or no restrictions. So we're going to try all these options, guys. I think it could work really well.
How often are you going to do your classes going forward?
Oh, what a great question.
Oh, that's why I'm here.
I would like to do them weekly, every Friday night. So currently we're doing 7 p.m. until 8 p.m. to give people enough time to, quote unquote, get home from work. But if you have a suggestion for a better time of the evening, please let me know, or a better day of the week. I'm happy to expand to more classes if you want. But Nat, something exciting is happening next week, probably on Tuesday.
Look, I haven't got any plans at this point because
Great.
I can't legally have plans.
So next week on Tuesday, something exciting is going to be happening with Brushes and Flues. You're welcome. And what's
You're
that
welcome.
exciting thing, Nat?
I believe the resident artist
That's me.
is going to do a one for kids
Yes.
in the AMs or the not so late PMs.
Yeah, probably like early afternoons, I would say.
Yeah. After nap, before dinner.
After nap, before dinner. Okay, so if you're stuck at home with your beautiful, beautiful children,
So you're not stuck just enjoying life
yeah,
and embracing.
totally. If your child is like over the age of 20 years and grows a beard and is also called your partner, that's also a great person to be stuck at home with. Or if you need to have a lunch break in your working from home times, Brushes and Brews will be doing a children's class party on Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Sure.
1 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. At 2 p.m. in the afternoon. This will be based at small people aged between... That's you.
4, 6, and 8-year-olds.
Yeah. But will also probably be appropriate for any age group from 4 and up.
I think 12-year-olds would really enjoy it too.
Yeah. I think so.
Depends on their. Like, I'll probably enjoy the 4-year-olds art. Let's be honest.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I will too. That's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, all that to be said in a very long, rambling way, we are going to be doing Brushes and Brews for kids because we're all stuck at home and our kids could be driving us crazy.
They would.
That should be fun. They wouldn't think of it. So just a little update. Dave Roby is deeply offended. Nah.
Oh, good on you, Dave. You're
Jade
not
suggested
offended.
a Google Meet, which I think would be a bloody
Oh,
good
I've
idea.
heard of this Google Meet.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking and I don't want to do
What
this
is
much
Google
talking.
Meet?
Jade, what's a Google Meet? We're about to learn this. All good.
Oh, this isn't horrible.
Yeah, it looks bloody awesome.
That's
Yes,
all it
no.
isn't as dark as the other side. Is that just because it's dry?
Haha, great question from Nat. So she's wondering why one side of her leaf is darker than the other. Yes, correct. That's because when watercolour paints dry, they generally get lighter in colour or more faded, if that's the way you want to explain it. Wow, I just realised it's 8 o'clock. Guys, we're running over time. Chill out. If you all have somewhere to be, you can leave, but I know you don't because you're stuck inside your houses.
That was my chair going back and me leaving.
Bye, Nat.
Peace out.
Miss you already.
It's been real. And this is actually really fun.
Yeah,
For
good.
somebody who has no art talent and finds it stressful, I'm really enjoying this.
Yes! That's what I like to hear. And just in case you're wondering, I did not pay Nat to say that.
I'm here under my own free will.
That's right. Free will, free beer.
Plus, there's nowhere else to go
right now. What else are you going to do?
It was this or watch my husband play Assassin's Creed. I chose this.
Excellent. So we've had a great suggestion from Mick. Instead of calling it Brushes and Brews, we call it Brushes and Underage Drinking.
Thank you for the compliment. I'm nearly 35.
Jeez, she's quick. Look out. She'll get you. And I have a photo update from Laura and her incredible son, Toby. Frick yeah. That looks amazing. Well done, Toby. Everyone snaps for Toby.
Oh, far out. How old is Toby?
Toby is... can't remember. But he's a small person, but not like a tiny small person. Anyway, he nailed the light and shadow, and he has used a spectacular amount of salt And it looks really cool. I'm running away because my laptop's about to die.
From the troubles in my life.
I'm walking away.
Oh dear.
Balls.
You know the slugs?
Yep.
Should they have like darker circles around them too?
So we're going to get to that.
Oh.
So Nat has asked a great question. Should the slugs have darker circles around them? If you're confident in adding the circles in while your page is still wet to create a faded effect, please feel free to go ahead and do that. If not, we're just going to add them on closer to the end with a pencil-y kind of effect.
Should I stop?
Yep.
Am I going too far?
Yeah, well you're not, but you should stop.
But I will.
Yeah, you will. Great question from Nat, should you stop? Yes.
Oh. So that one looks good, but that's now.
Oh, good work, Toby. And Jade has also finished and it looks friggin' amazing. I think there's some like brown or orange in there.
Ooh, well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I really like that.
I'd like to add some, but I feel I'll get in trouble if I do that.
You can do whatever you want.
No.
If you wanted to, you could add some to this one because it's still wet.
No, it's going to be
But also, yeah, don't go too far. So currently we're waiting for this to dry so we can add the last little elements of dark colour.
How many emails do you have unread?
Don't look at my... Whoa!
Holy moly!
I have 1,694 unread emails, everyone. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, hey, Google, whatever it was that Jade called it, Google Meet is like Zoom with no restrictions, and you can record them.
Oh,
yeah.
You can record Zoom too, but I think you have to use a different program.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Oh, and Laura did a few different leaves, so I'm just getting, message updates. Remember,
Laura with the fancy cheese plate?
Laura with the, no, that's Holly and Benita.
That's where I'll be next Friday night.
Yeah, so Nat's going to come visit you, Holly, if that's okay. With her 1.5 metre long ruler, just to make sure she's not close to anyone. Laura, they look amazing. So Laura's chosen to do a few leaves on her page, and they look very, very impressive. Right, so yeah, I'm just waiting for my page to dry right now. You could be doing that too.
Well, I guess I am.
Yep.
You're right.
Is there any questions from the audience or from my in-studio noob in Double OB?
Trying to thinking of questions.
Excellent. What you can do if you are not good at patience is just get yourself a hairdryer, and at this point you can dry really quickly. My only issue with that is if you have big pools of water on your page and you chuck a hairdryer on it, they like splatter.
Oh, I learned that last time.
Yeah, you did. Which can it can be a really cool effect unless you want something sort of neat and a little more controlled. Then it's not a fun time. It can be kind of frustrating. Yes.
Ask Thomas what? Oh, he knows.
Ask Tom about Google Meets.
Tom's the IT man, is he?
Yep. While we're waiting for this to dry, this is a fun extra bonus. You get this for free.
Yes. Oh!
Yeah, and that's moon. Is it dry?
Oh, it feels dry. Is it dry?
Now there's salt on here now.
Well, that can add effect to that one.
Yes. So, fun things to do with moons. There are about 10,000 options. This is an extra added bonus because, as you know, it is after 8 PM, so I'm off the clock now. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Can I just rub the salt off with my finger, or do I need to do it with something in particular?
Just rub it off with your finger. If you're particular about textures and stuff, you can brush it off with a brush, but just rub it off with your finger.
Ooh!
So, for those of you...
Do I rub it on the floor, or is there a special spot?
Just right on the floor. That's what art studios are for. That looks really cool.
Thank you.
Can I show everyone at home? Oh, you're not done yet. Hey, so Nat used salt on her artwork, and it's created this really cool effect that I can't describe, but it looks friggin' awesome.
Not too far.
Didn't go too far. Great job, Nat. So these are moons. While we're waiting for our page to dry, we're just gonna play a little bit, and I'll show you some fun things you can do with these. I might even get examples.
Is it safe to lick the salt?
Is it safe to eat anything? Sure. Yes, great question, Miguel. It's safe to lick the salt, but you may ruin your painting. So how badly do you need salt?
Tongue.
I don't care about the tongue, it's fine. So we are going to talk about these moons in a way of little tiny things that can go on top of them. This is just added bonus, because why not? Although it's late. If you need to leave, I won't be offended. I'll just cry myself to sleep. It's
Again.
fine.
Oh, no.
That's a fire tonight. Okay, so here are three little... Oh, I'll not put those in there. Three little example-y options that you can do with your moon to make it slightly more interesting. If you'd like to. So these can be done with a brush or with a black pen. I'm going to do them with a brush because that's more fun. So for trees, which are here, you're just going to get your black paint. I don't think that's black, that's brown.
This
Sorry,
is what
just
it says.
colours, everyone. You're going to get your black paint and working one of two ways, whichever feels more comfortable for you. You're going to start small at the top. Oh, it's still a bit wet, whatever. And pull down and out to create a little tree effect.
What you're doing there.
Yes. And if that's uncomfortable for you, you can go the opposite. So you can start at the bottom and flick up and in to create a kind of tree. Now remember, we don't want perfect trees because they don't look great. You want to suggest a tree. So we're outlining a tree, and then you can choose to do just a few trees or trees all the way along. I might do another little smaller one just off to the side here. So this is a way to make your moon more interesting while you wait for your leaf to dry. And then second option is mountains. Mountains are super duper easy. They're the same shape as this old line that went in the middle of your leaf when you do a pencil. You just kind of like drawing a little boop, and then you're done, right? Fill that in to wherever your heart desires. And then kind of like thin it out. I would actually join that up to that.
Oh, the trees on the mountain.
Yes, trees are on the mountain. To create a little bit of a, so this is more of a hill. If you want more of a mountain, just bring it sort of up into a bit more of a peak. But if you're doing multiple mountains, don't do like perfectly even because ain't nobody got time for that. So, couple of mountains. I'm going to turn mine all into mountains. And then the last thing you can do, don't know if this will really work out visually, is buildings. Everyone can draw a rectangle. If you can't, go back to preschool. Buildings are just different shaped rectangles that are all kind of next to each other. Maybe one might have a spire on it and have a pointy bit on the top. Actually, it's kind of nice if they're joined as well. So yeah, these are just like super simple silhouette features that you can put over your means to make them a little bit more interesting. If you have white acrylic paint or gouache, which was on the
Gouache?
Gouache?
Gouache.
Gouache is a type of paint, kind of like acrylic. Don't really know the rest of it. So if you have white acrylic paint, you can use that to put on details onto your buildings, like these little white bits, or onto your trees. But that's a little segue. I think we'll do a brushes and brews one night specifically on this. That was for free. You're welcome. Okay, we're going to finish up with the last few details on our leaves. Ooh. Okay, people are talking. When you show us the picture close to the camera, it needs to be further away from you. The image was cut off last time you did it. Thank you, Steph. Good to know. Is this good distance? I don't know why I'm holding this one up. Good chat. I hope this is okay. Anyway, we're going to finish off the leaf tonight, and then I'll get out of your hair and stop talking. If you have salt on your page, you really want to wait until it's completely dry, so don't take it off yet. But what you want to do is get your brush. This might be a good time.
I get what she's further like.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
For a test sheet of paper. To remember, like, figure out what colours you had. So you want a relatively dark colour, but not obscenely dark. So you might mix a green with a little tiny bit of a blue. to create a darker green. And do that in the middle of your palette.
Whoa. It's happening so fast.
Right? Should I
You really want to get off the clock, don't you?
This is just the speed I work at. Leave me alone. No, I don't want to leave.
Oh, okay, so you're right. You can mix it up in the middle.
Yeah, mix it up in the middle or wherever. So this bit you kind of just need to be confident and do it in a few foul swoop brush strokes. So starting from one end, you want to just go all the way through. If you happen to stop and leave a little bit of a gap, that's also a-okay. If you want to do it solidly, that too works fine. But we're just putting a thin line down the middle of our leaf. Now when you get to here, you want to push the tip of your brush down just a little bit further to create a bit of a thick stem that you can then taper off into an angle or leave straight. That's up to your personal preference.
What if you've already drawn your stem?
What if you've already drawn your stem? You're fine. If you want to add some shadow to your stem, you can do that as well. Just pick an edge and chuck a little bit of a darker colour on there. I think Dave Ruby is signing out. Love you, Dave. Bye, Ree.
See ya.
Send in pictures of the art. Great.
Great.
So Mike can't really see what's happening. I don't know whether that's your problem or mine. Comment back again if that's if it's my problem.
Are we using a thin brush for the stem?
Yeah, so use your smaller brush. Great question.
Is this my smaller brush?
For the stem. That's your smaller brush. Yep. I hope that is this close enough? Should I attempt to bring it down to table level?
If you
You know what?
if you like, whatever.
This is
you
all
think.
about experimentation, amigos. I'm gonna move the camera. Don't hate on me. This is happening. Yeah. All right.
Oh, it's too thick.
How is that? Oh, that's way too close to mine, and then you can't see any of that.
That's fine.
This is sad.
I've
This is
ruined
not going to last. I'm just going to show you this last little bit nice and close up.
I've ruined it on the stem anyway.
For the last little bit. Why?
It's too thick.
No, Nat thinks hers is too thick, but it's not. I'll show you soon that it isn't. So for this last little bit, we'll get up nice and close. Here is my palette with colour. What are you giggling at?
Like this and it's gone.
Oh, sus.
Hopefully that's the same colour.
Anyway, so you can possibly see that here you can see my lead pencil. So I'm just going to do a super thin streak of paint along there to kind of make it disappear. And then a little bit more here and some there. The reason I'm not drawing full circles on my page is because then your leaf looks a little bit too artificial. So if you want to add a tiny bit more depth, just get a little bit of paint on your brush and then fill in really small amounts of your edges and your little circles if you want to, if that floats your boat. If your boat is already floating and you don't need extras, don't do it. It's totally up to your preference, but don't be perfect with it. Like here you can see that I've kind of fallen off the edge of my actual leaf a bit. That's totally fine if it's not perfect. So we're just coming in and adding a really small amount of detail just to get a tiny bit more definition on these leaves. And that creates good stuff.
That is. I can't even get my lines that thin.
So, great question from Nat. How do you get your lines really thin? Sometimes there's a lot of paint on our brush and it comes out really thick. If that's happening, just dab your brush onto like a piece of paper a little bit to get rid of some of that so there's not too much liquid on your brush.
I think I'm just pressing too hard.
And also just press really lightly with the tip of your brush. If you are struggling to get that thin point, maybe grab your scrap piece of paper and just practice just drawing a few really thin lines until you're more comfortable with that action.
I'm just gonna go.
Just gonna go for it. Just YOLO.
Exactly.
So Mike's feeling the pain. We were a bit mean.
What did we say?
No, I was just like, is that your problem or
you
mine?
said that. Yeah, you're being mean, not me.
Whatever, I'm always super nice. I'm just going to spin this around so you can see this last little bit. So as you can see here, I had 2 lines of pencil that you could see, so I'm just covering them both up, even though it doesn't completely follow the line of my leaf. This is what?
I feel like this is enhancing it.
This is enhancing it. That's what you want. That's a great way to say it. I might zhuzh the camera over to Nat last piece when I'm done here.
Make sure I don't go too far.
Yeah, feel the pressure, right?
Yeah, feel the pressure. Jeez, I'm here as a noob.
Noob. You're gonna be my resident noob forever. I hope you're cool with that.
We've got plans for the next few Friday.
Yeah, whatever. How about you can get free beer every Friday?
How about my calendar's bare and it's really depressing?
Everyone's calendar's a bare, Nat.
I flipped it over.
Oh dear.
Shed a single tear.
And it's fine.
And then realised this is my life now.
Yeah, you just have to deal with it. So I'm holding it out. I just want to point out to you, this is what the salt does, homies. So if you're going to hang out with your friends more and do more painting, experiment with salt. It's fun. Sorry, your friend. Yeah, you should only be hanging out with one person. Now I'm just going to bring you over here real quick.
Now I've gone too far.
To watch. No, Nat's doing a really good job over here. Oh, look at that beautiful thin line. Amazing.
Because there's pressure. I need to go over here though. Oh, look at that.
We're following the brush. So Nat's doing a really good job of not being super crazy selective about where the lines go. Like they're not directly circular.
I don't like that line though.
Yeah, and she's fixing it up and she doesn't like it. That's so good. Yeah, she's not going around every single line, just where she feels or where she thinks it's a good look.
Yeah.
Zach wants to show faces.
Yeah, zoom.
Zoom. We need to get Zoom, guys. We're going to do it. We're going to get Zoom next time. Or something like Zoom. Okay, so what if we finish off by being around here?
We're going to debrief our art.
Oh, yeah. We're going to debrief our art and talk about our feelings as well.
Whoa.
Just breaking things, guys. All right. I'm going to break the 1.5 meter rule. Or should I go back here like this?
That's extremely cool.
Hey, look, here's my studio, everyone. It looks nice. Anyway.
You should shoot fairy lights.
Check it out. Have fairy lights. Should I turn the lights off real quick? Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Then I can blame that on... Oh, it's nearly fluorescent.
Yes,
Look at that.
Fun. How does that even look? You're looking at the roof. Oh, you can't even see the lights right now. Okay, wait. Oh, no, you can. It's fine.
Now I've got a big, thick, dark bit here that I didn't intend to.
Welcome to the studio at night. So I feel like after 8:10, Brushes and Brews gets a little bit silly.
Damn it looks terrible now.
No, it doesn't. Stop, Nat. Quit while you're ahead.
I'm done.
What's going on? What's the issue?
This bit here.
What bit? Do you want to get rid of it?
Oh yeah, dab it.
Dab it.
I listened. Did you just dab?
I just dabbed.
Then that's fine now.
Yeah. So yeah, Nat's was a little bit dark, and so she wanted to lift it and come a little bit lighter.
It's not horrible.
It's freaking awesome. I'm proud.
I need one more line.
Oh, before we finish, there are two things I would like to do. The first thing is you need to sign your artwork. If you don't, I will walk to your house and slap you in the head, and then get a texter and sign your work for you with your own name and date.
Where's the black? That's right.
So you can use a Nico, you can use a pencil, whatever the heck
Can
you
you
want.
paint it?
You can paint it, but that can be kind of difficult. And that's going through the painting. Wow, she's so brave. Anyway, I like to use a pen to sign mine. Something also really fun to do is to put a date on it, so that you can have a record of when you painted it and look back on your progress. Hey, I got so much better, or hey, I got so much worse. Maybe I developed an illness. Who knows? That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And the last thing I need you to do is the way that I finish every class is by getting a picture of us looking like proud preschool students. By holding up your award, like your painting, like it's yes, Jay just sent one through. That's amazing. Like it's a little award, like you're really proud. So I'm gonna ask for your help now. Nat and I are gonna hold up and grin, and you all need to take screenshots and then post them on the page.
Of us?
Yeah, take screenshot. I can take a screenshot. No, I can't take a screenshot. I'm just gonna keep grinning like this.
Are we done?
I hope you guys took screenshots. That was really uncomfortable for me.
That was horrible.
Anyway, thank you a hell of an amount for joining us virtually, but also can we all, in our respective countries, states and houses, give Nat a round of applause for being here, and for being brave enough to put her creative skills on the internet without a whole lot of background information.
Pink Himalayan rocks.
We've just learned pink Himalayan
dear.
rocks. Maybe your soul needs needs to be finer. It could be too coarse.
Through the grinder. Grind it on.
Grind it on.
And then you can lick it off later.
That's just for me.
Oh, yes!
Oh, someone screenshot it. No, someone just took a photo off their screen. Jade, that's amazing. All right, I would love to see all of your progress shots, your cheese, your wine, anything you do after this. If it's PG rated, I want to see it. I'm going to create a post on the Facebook wall right now that says, tell me what you did tonight. I want to see the goods. Thank you very much for joining us. That's going to sing an outro while I turn it off. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and
Thank you! Go Brews! No more Corona Blues!
Oh, Lordy!
Are we done?
Okay, I didn't...